Hey, welcome to my MPC Live, a totally amateur review. I'm trying this again. I have tried so many times to do this. My phone stops recording randomly, or I press the volume button and it stops recording. And this is probably the 10th time that I've gotten 18 minutes into it, and that's fun. This time, for real, let's get her done. Let's have a look on the outside of the device. First of all, the build material or build quality of this device. You're looking at a plastic shell right here, and don't let that turn you off because it is not cheap plastic. I know some of the really good brands like Electron and whatnot, they use metal materials to shell their devices, and this one is plastic, but I wouldn't want you to think that that means it feels cheap. It does not feel cheap. This thing is heavy, it's weighted, the plastic is thick, it's unyielding and unbending. It's got a very nice premium feel to it. It doesn't feel cheap and flimsy at all. It feels very nice. If they basically they chose plastic and they used the best plastic they could possibly choose, it does feel really nice. On the front of the device here, you've got your Q-Link knobs, and each one of these will change, adjust settings while you're playing. You've also got a button up here with 4 little lights underneath. When it's running, you can see it'll be like this one will be lit, and you click it, and that one will be lit. And that allows you to choose whatever presets that you've chosen for these knobs to do while the thing is running and whatnot. So it's kind of cool. On the bottom here, you've got a larger Q-Link knob, and this one is more for selecting things. So if you select a part and then you move it, this one's notched. You can hear it. It's notched, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, it moves like that, and then you push it in to select things. I find I navigate a lot of the menu sections on here using this instead of using the touch screen because it's just quicker. On the bottom here, you've got a shift button that will allow secondary functions for all sorts of things. So for example, here's your menu button. It'll bring up a menu of things, and if you hold shift and press it, it'll allow you to browse your samples in your projects. It's kind of cool. You've got your main button right here, and you can also shift and press that to go to your track menu. You've got an undo, and if you hold shift and press it, it's a redo. You've got a copy and delete when shifted. Tap for tempo. You've got your record, your overdub, stop, play, play start, and then you've got your selection for up and down. Over on the top of the device here, you've got 4 buttons that are for your sound banks or pad banks. So for whatever you set here, you could set bank A to be different beats and B to be different sounds and whatnot. I find the most practical use of the different sound banks here is when you use keynote. So for example, when you're making a melody or something, you have notes, and if let's say you choose a bass and then you select keynote so that it's basically each one is doon 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 doon, then you choose higher banks to be different, higher octaves. So it'd be really low, and then you choose here ding, much better. If you hold shift and press any one of those, it will give you E, F, G, and H. So it's A, B, C, D, shift, E, F, G, H. And again, when you're working with notes, if you hold shift and go to H, it's going to be really high, probably higher than the human ear can hear. Here you've got note repeat. If you press it, hold it and press any of these, it'll, according to whatever timing you've selected it, dick, 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 and you can set it to 1/8 and dit, 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 and 1/16. Dit, 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 dit. It's kind of cool. You can also hold shift and press that, and it will latch it, so you don't have to hold it. Now you can just dit, 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 dit. Kind of cool. Here you've got your full level button. If you press it, it's all these pads are velocity sensitive, so if I tap it lightly, it'll be tick, tick, tick. If I tap it hard, it'll tick, tick, tick. If you select full velocity, no matter how hard you hit it, it will be full velocity. If you hold shift and press that button, it'll be half velocity. Every single one of them will be half velocity. So it's kind of cool if you want to make some parts a little bit quieter, some instruments and whatnot. You don't want to blare out sounds, and then other ones you want higher, you can set it to full level. The 16 level key, I really don't know what it does, because there's the full level and half level. I don't know what that does. I don't know. It has a function, whatever it is. And then your erase button. You probably know what erasing does. Let's go to the back of the device here. I promise we'll turn this thing on in a minute. Okay. On the back of the device, you've got a bunch of inputs and outputs. You've got your phones for headphones. You've got your volume knob. You've got your master left and right output. Then 4 additional channels to separate things. You've got your recording volume, so if you're going into the device recording something, you'll want to adjust that accordingly so it's not too loud and it's not too quiet. You've got a ground for turntables in your phono. You've got your, large headphone jacks that can go in here for plugging in some other component like a synth or something. You've got your MIDI outs, MIDI ins, 2 of each. You've got an SD card for expanding storage on here, for putting in samples and stuff on the fly, so you can have a bunch of SDs with a bunch of different sounds and just swap them out there. It's pretty cool. Here you've got USB peripheral slots, so you can plug things in through USB, and for example, a MIDI keyboard or something, or MIDI controller, you can plug that right in there. It's very convenient. Then you've got your USB for output. This one here is, for example, if you want to hook it up to your computer and run through a DAW, then you would use this one right here. You've got this thing, I don't know what it is, Kensington lock or something. Here you've got your power to plug it in and charge it up, because this thing is battery operated, and you've got your power button. Let's turn it on. Ooh, so pretty. On the bottom of the device, I should mention there is a door. Let me just grab this here. There's a door right there, and that door can be, you can put a hard drive in there. You can put a hard drive or an SSD, of course, like a notebook size, 2.5 inch. I would recommend an SSD if you did get one of these things, because an SSD uses less power and it's less prone to, being broken if you bump the machine while it's running. Okay, here we are on the main screen. Let's have a look. I'm just going to plug in the headphone jack. Excuse me for a second. And plug in the headphone jack. Okay, coming back to the device here. Look on the screen here. You can actually see the color reproduction pretty good right now. When I first did the video review of this, I recorded it at night in artificial light, and it was absolutely terrible quality. That's why I'm doing this again. I also didn't focus my camera very well on what I was doing, so it seemed a lot of times like I was recording over here when I should have been recording over here. I'll try to pay better attention to that in this video review. Let's talk a little bit about the included samples on this device. Did I just turn that on or off? I guess I just turned it off. There we go. Okay, the included samples on here I find are really good. A lot of people complain about the samples. They think that they're, I don't know, they just complain about the samples that are included on the device. Of course, you can expand, you can sample into the machine by recording directly into it, or you can use the SD card to load a bunch of samples into it. Personally, I like a lot of the samples. I think they're really good, and of course, because of the nature of the device, you have full flexibility to manipulate sounds and samples as much as you want, to the point that you could take a piano sound and change it into the sound of a duck dying in the distance. You can edit the start-stop times, you can edit the velocity, you can add a plethora of effects to it, and you can change it so significantly you wouldn't even recognize it was a piano sound to begin with. For the sake of keeping this brief, because I seem to have very bad luck making this review, I'm not going to go through the step-by-step of making a song, because I just keep messing up and having to do it all over again. So let's try to get this done quickly. I'm going to hold Shift and I'm going to press Menu, which opens up my browser. Here on the browser, I can choose from a bunch of different sets. One second here. Cool. Got a whole bunch of different sets that you can choose from, and it shows you a preview to show you all the sounds in that. So let's choose that right there. Stop. Okay, let's load it. There we go, it's loaded. Let's go back to the main. Right there, we're at the main project window, and you'll see that all of the keys now are lit up. Ooh, so pretty. Let's make a really quick beat here, and I'm not going to make it all spaced out into different layers and stuff because, again, I just want to avoid my bad luck of making this video. So we're in track 1. Right now, the thing is set to 2 bars. That's not a lot of bars to work with, so we're going to change that to 8 bars. Okay, now I've got some time to work with. Now we're going to click on Note Repeat right here, and we're going to see what it's recording to. It's recording to 16ths. Okay, that should be flexible enough for me to make the beat the way I want to without having it move it automatically with time correction to some, left or right where it sounds not like I made. I won't use Note Repeat just yet. First, I'll just make a simple beat. So we're going to have a kick, snare, okay? Let's click on Record and play Start. Oh, hold on a second here. What I should do is turn on the metronome. Click on the metronome, click this spot right here, enable off, play, record, and play. Now it's on the whole time that the thing is running, that the clock is running. Close that, okay. Now we're going to record and play Start. see if it's tying it properly. I felt a little off. Yeah, see, there's a little bit off right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the track, and I'm going to go to the bar right here, and I'm going to move it a bit ahead. Oh, let's see if I can view that spot. There's a spot in here that's a little bit off. Undo, undo, undo. Okay. Go to bar, up here. Move it down a bit. Let's try that again. Let's play. Okay, back there was not where I wanted it to be. Where's the line? There it is. Okay, let's move that back a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit off. So we are going to delete that. And let's move the bar back a bit. Okay, stop. Let's move that. Let's move that over a little bit. That's not where I want it to be. Ayo, what are you doing? I'm making a mess here. Of course I'm making a mess. Let's delete that. What? Okay, let's just rewrite the whole beat. Okay, I messed up on that one and it didn't sound very good at all. So if I play, there's nothing. Okay, stop. Metronome. Sorry about this, guys. I'm not trying to mess it up so much. Okay, let's try recording that again. So record, play, start. Let's see how that did. Sounding better. Okay, everything's in time. You'll notice there that I had a problem with the undo. I erased too much. I actually didn't know how many steps I had made an error in, so the undo basically became useless because I couldn't say, oh, back up 3 times. That's how deep into my mistake I became. No, I have no idea. So I had to just rewrite it. This is kind of a problem with the undo button on here. There's apparently 512 levels of undo and redo, but if you're like me and you're kind of timing disabled, then it's just kind of, just redo it. That's what I find for myself. Some people are, of course, better at this kind of stuff than I am. Okay, now that we've got the basic beat, let's say I want to record a hi-hat into here, okay? Now I want the hi-hat to be timed to 1/8 or 1/16. Let's put it to 1/8 and 1/3. So I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to enable note repeat, okay? Right now it's set to 1/16. I'm going to turn it to 1/8 and 1/3, and there we go. Now this time, I'm going to use overdub and play start. If I hit record on the same track, it's still track 1. Normally I would do the hi-hats on a different track so that it can come in later, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to do it in the same track. I'm going to hit overdub and play start, and it'll start recording at the start, and it'll overdub instead of deleting what I already did with the kick and the snare, because if I just recorded it, it would delete the snare. So overdub, play start. Yeah. Here we go. Almost done. Okay, that's in there. Now, if I wanted to, I can put some rolls in there. Okay, I just changed it to 1/32 instead of 1/8. So let's do that. Okay, so there we go. I've got a really basic beat down there. Now, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to make another track. Dunk. There's unused. I'm going to change that to stuff. S-T-U-F-F. Stuff. Do it. Okay. Stuff is written there. I'm going to use the same drum program because I want to use these right here. I'm going to change that to 16s. I could key that in myself, but I like the note repeat. I've got the full level enabled, and so I don't accidentally mess up the velocities. Then we're going to, because this is a fresh track, I don't have to overdub it, I can record it. Let's go to record and play. Okay, not very pretty. It wasn't very pretty at all. Now let's talk about like really quickly about how to make an entire song out of this. Basically, what you're going to do is, or what I do for the sake of ease, is I will make one sequence and I will write everything, all the tracks in it. I'll do the beats, transitions, melodies, bass line, leads, pads, whatever I'm going to do. I'll make each one in a different track. Once I've done that, let's say I've got a whole bunch of tracks in here. If you look at this spot right here, let me just look. If you look at here, here you've got your volumes and whatnot, and you might want to adjust volumes for beat and stuff like that so it doesn't overpower. I will make a word of note, do not adjust the volume while it's recording. Do not adjust any of these volumes while it's recording. If you do, it records it as automation, and it's really, really hard to undo. So if you're going to adjust the volumes in here, like let's say you want to adjust the beat volume, use the Q-Link knob, dunk, 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 dunk. There we go, I've reduced that. Play it. Okay, so it's not so intense. It doesn't overpower the other stuff. But anyway, don't adjust that while it's recording. You'll really regret it. You will have to redo stuff. Once you've got that, let's say we've got like 5 different tracks. I don't, but let's just say I do. And let's say I'm looking at sequence 1. Okay, in sequence 1, I might mute this second part right here. Here we go. I've muted stuff. Okay. Stop. Okay, that's muted. Then I go back to the main, I edit the sequence, I go to copy sequence, I go to track 2, or sequence 1 to sequence as unused, and it's sequence 2, do it. Okay, now we cancel this to get out, and we've got sequence 1. They're both named sequence 1 on here, but look at the white numbers, 1 and 2, okay? That's sequence 1 and sequence 2. The only reason it's called sequence 1 is because I didn't rename the sequence. So if I play sequence 1, it's this. I play sequence 2, it's still this because I need to go into here and unmute what I want. Then I play. Okay, so when we go back to the main menu and we go to sequence 1, it's this. And we go to sequence 2, it's this. So imagine in here, in this view right here, you are on sequence 1, you've got all those tracks that you've written, every single one of them. Mute everything that you don't want in the first sequence. Go back to the main screen, edit it right here. Copy the sequence 1 to sequence, let's say sequence 3, because we've already got one in sequence 2. Do it. Then you go back to the main. Let's click on that, go back to main, go back into here, and unmute something else that you want to come in at that point. You can go through the whole song. What I would do normally is I would make sequence 1 with all those tracks, mute everything I don't want in the first sequence. Then I would copy the sequence as many times as I want the length of the song to be. So let's say, an average song is, if it's 8 bars, then maybe 10 or 12 sequences. Okay, so I would copy it 10 or 12 times. Then I would go to sequence 1. Of course, everything's muted. It is the way that I want it to be. Go to sequence 2. Unmute something that I want to be there. Go to sequence 3. Maybe let it run like that for a second. Then go to sequence 4. Unmute something else. So there's a kind of transition. Go to sequence 5 and so on and so forth until I basically laid out the entire song by muting and unmuting certain sections of the tracks. There are different tracks in each sequence. Once that's done, you can go to the main menu. You can go to this menu right here. You can go to Song, and it shows you right now I've got sequence 1, 2, and 3. They're all called sequence 1 because I didn't change the name, but it's actually 1, 2, and 3. Really tiny numbers that you can't see right there. Then what I would do is I'd click on that and I would insert, and then I would change using the Q-Link knob. Dunk. That's not working. Okay, go to here. Okay, just whatever, just insert. Okay, so I've inserted 4 sequences here. Each one of them right here, it says 3, 3, 3, and 3. So this one would be 1. This one would be 2. And set all those. Then I can just play them out. But what I would want to do after to actually print a song, yes, you can do that on the device, is click on export, like that. Here, audio tail, it shows you all the details of the song that you want. Tells you the bit depth. You can probably adjust that so that it sounds something more appealing to you. 24-bit, 32F, I don't know what that is, but anyway, let's just say 24-bit. Use this thing to select and click it in. There we go. It's 24-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. Not bad. Let's say we want to go to MP3 and choose the bit rate, 192.44.1. Sure, that's fine. Then click export. Click export. It's going to ask you the name of the song right here. You write in the name, choose the folder. Do not do it to internal. Apparently, if you fill up the internal memory on this thing, it doesn't sound very, or it doesn't work very well. So use your external, choose your directory, and save. And there we go. I'm exporting a really crappy song. It's almost done. It's almost done. And still almost done. So this is a very quick example. And then when you go back to your menu, if I hold Shift and press Menu, Shift and Menu, I get the browser. Shift and Menu, I get the browser. I can go to Places right here on the top. Click on that little drive. Go to Projects, and it is right here. It is called Untitled. It's somewhere in there. I don't know. Anyway, so the song is in there as an MP3. Oh, these are projects, of course. I didn't. I just saved an MP3 into there. Anyway, yeah. So that's basically the rundown of how to make a quick song in there. So kind of a review and a tutorial at the same time. Yay! My thoughts and feelings on this device are: I really like it. I think it's great. It's very versatile. I love the fact that I can take it with me anywhere and make music. That's awesome. It's a groove box. I mean, that's what it is. It's a groove box. It's not a synth, really, because, I mean, it just really plays samples. It's just a sample editor. But it's very versatile for the size and weight and capabilities. It's very good. You've got 128 tracks that you can make in standalone version. That means without a DAW, without a computer, you can put 128 tracks into a certain song, and you can put 128 sequences. So 128 sequences and 128 tracks, that's a whole hell of a lot of flexibility. Try writing a song that uses all of them, I implore you. That'd be funny. As for what you can actually do with the device, I'll give you an example of a song that I wrote. Let's see if I can find one that I'm happy with sharing. This is much better. Okay, let's continue. I didn't save the last project. I should have done that. Whatever. Okay, just loading up this project, and to give you a real quick demo of a song that I wrote in it. So let's go to the main. We're on intro. Let's play. Now let's turn off the metronome. There we go. Metronome's off. Let's skip a few bars into it, or a few sequences. So this is during a break in the song. I skipped to 8 seconds. That's the basic rundown of it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm glad that I actually got through the whole thing this time. Let's just not accidentally press the button. Very carefully hold the phone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below the video. Feel free to thumbs up if you did like it, and thumbs down if you didn't like it. I would say don't bother subscribing to my channel if you're expecting new content, because I kind of just make a video whenever I can. And as you can hear, I make a lot of mistakes when trying to make videos and get discouraged a lot. So, yeah, my next video will be when it is, and don't bother subscribing because there's just no need. Aside from that, again, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next review video. All right, that's it. Kedikus out.